Welcome, my beautiful souls, to Behind the Veil Psychic Readings. I am your psychic advisor, your spiritual advisor. My name is Sandy. I want to welcome everyone. So, today I'm going to pick up on some of the questions that many of you have asked. I put that out there, like if there's any questions that you would like me to answer. Connecting to our guides, of course. And I got so much response that I have to break it up in probably like 10 different readings, but that's okay. I don't think you guys mind. So I want real quick I want to let you know that I did start a membership program on YouTube, because this podcast will go out, further than YouTube. But I started a membership on YouTube where you can literally ask me questions, whatever you want to ask me. We're going to try to go live once a week. I can't guarantee that we can go live every single week, but I am going to try. And literally, we just will answer your questions. I'll use a mixture of tarot cards, but also connecting directly to my guides, which is what I do here also. So I look forward to that. I look forward to my beautiful group of members. I had this membership program before, and then my channel got hacked, and it deleted it. So it took me a while, but I decided, you know what? I miss being that close with all of you. So this is why I decided to do it as a membership. And if you're interested, you can, right below it's going to be in a video form. Right below this, there should be the join button. You can click on that. It doesn't commit you to anything. There's only 2 programs. One's a simple thank you, like a donation. Thank you, Sandy. And the second one is the membership. So, level 1, level 2. All right, I think I've been talking long enough. So we're going to go ahead and jump into some viewer questions and give you some answers. So I'm going to start with Susan. And for some reason I put in parentheses SE. And your question is, will you fall in love again? Will you fall in love again? I wanted to grab my special crystal that I always hold when I do these readings. Alright, so will you fall in love again? It's interesting because I feel like your spiritual team wants you to fall in love again. I feel like there have been issues in your life, Susan, where you may have been, let's just say, tempted by, I don't know, lower vibrational energy. I'm not sure how to say this. Like attracted to the bad boy, attracted to the bad girl type of energy. But I feel like those days, they just feel like they're behind you. I feel like you must have done a lot of clearing on your own, because I definitely feel like your spiritual team, I feel like they want to send you signs. Not just signs, but I'm hearing also blessings. So we're asking about love, and I feel like this year, interesting, like all of a sudden I feel like the year of the hermit. Well, we're in the year of the hermit. So, and there's no way that your spirit guides would make you wait another 9 years. So I feel like maybe this year is just wrapping up the old understanding, like, okay, maybe I've been attracted to the wrong type of person, but I myself have evolved, and therefore the energy around you should evolve. I definitely feel like your spiritual team feels that way about you, like proud. But I also feel like there's blessings coming into your life, and because you're asking about love, I definitely feel like it's one of them. And I feel like maybe why you haven't fallen in love in a while is I feel like there was some time needed to really evaluate Like, what have I been attracted to? Why? And I'm not saying all the love in your life was wrong, because I feel like everything was meant to happen for a reason. It must have taught you something. But I feel like you feel like your vibration is definitely of a higher nature than what it feels like it used to be. And therefore, just by the law of attraction, I definitely feel, and I do feel it this year, like I am hearing in the year of the Hermit. Well, my dear, we're in the year of the Hermit, so to answer your question, it's a yes. Now, will you allow yourself? Will you allow yourself? Because I do feel also that energy of like, I need to be what it is I want. Like, I need to be able to give great love. I need to trust my intuition. I feel like that's the first thing. Trust your intuition, because if you meet anyone new, and you will be, but it could be multiple people, it could be like a little universal test. Trust your intuition. Like, if you feel there's a red flag, don't ignore it. And I'm not even saying that that's going to happen. But if your spiritual team is very, very involved, so they will send you red flags. They will try to keep you on what feels like this destined path. And I feel like it's not just one blessing that's coming your way. I feel like there's a few blessings coming your way. And when I say blessings, I feel like they're well earned. So it probably has to do with love and, what you've been through. But it feels like you're evolving, and therefore, so will this love. In the year of the Hermit, and we're in it. So I'm going to let that be, Susan. That's kind of exciting. Not kind of exciting, it is exciting, because I really feel it. All right. We are going to go on to Abby Anderson, 9870. What energy surrounds you now, and how do you navigate this to improve your personal and business growth? You've been waiting to see a business, hoping a contract will be signed by the full moon. And that was your comment. That wasn't really, that was just a comment. So, what energy surrounds you now? And what's the best way to navigate this to really improve your personal and business growth? First thing I'm feeling is I need to let go of what was. Things that did not go well. I have a feeling. First of all, I feel like there's a need, or you've been in this state of reflection, but I feel like your answer lies within your past. And what I mean by that is I feel like through reflection, not judgment, reflection, I feel like you'll be able to see like certain blocks that may have held you back. They do feel like of emotional nature, I'm going to be honest. Nothing that I don't feel like you couldn't, or you probably haven't already overcome. But I do feel like there's this sense of reflecting back, because I feel like there's some answers in there for you. So I would say that is the beginning. And then I would say, believe in miracles. Believe that your dreams can come true. See yourself there. Like, see yourself in success. I feel like also there's someone special who is going to help you in some way. Very, very like-minded energy. And I feel like very valuable to you. Maybe in a couple different areas. Maybe in a few different areas. What I feel like, Abby, is if you've been going through like difficult times, again, I feel like your answers are within your experiences. And I feel like there may just be one thing that is kind of holding you down, holding you back. Again, it feels like of an emotional nature, but I feel like it's like things that you had to go through. And I want to say, I don't know why, but I feel like looking back is going to give you a lot of your own answers. And you're looking back to really think about your own growth. Like, look at the things that I survived. Not judging like, how the hell did I ever get in this situation? It's not that. Look at what I survived. Look at what I've overcome. And then I feel as you clear this energy, again, just something small from the past, I feel like as you clear this energy, I do feel like it feels like dreams are starting to come true. I have a feeling you're going to receive a lot of epiphanies, ideas from your spiritual team. Remember, they want you to succeed, probably even more than you. And they're here to help you do exactly that. So I feel like your spiritual team, they know what your goals are. And I feel like they're going to be sending you signs, but also ideas, epiphanies. They're going to pique your interest maybe in different ways. Probably in more than one thing. And what I would do is I would at least follow that. Something piques your interest, follow it for a minute. See if it's something like, oh, I want to know more and more and more. But your spiritual team is very active in your life. And, let's just say, I feel like the ultimate outcome feels like a house of like inner harmony, joy. I do see success on your path, but I see it in all areas of your life, not just business. I see it also in love. I see it in the perfect people stepping forward right when you need them. And they are your soulmates, by the way. I wouldn't be surprised if you're not in a relationship that you don't meet a soulmate this year. I know you're going to meet one as it relates to like business. Now, doesn't have to mean like I'm taking this person on as a partner, but there's something valuable that they're going to bring to the table. So just keep your eyes and ears open. That's the best way of saying that. But understand that your spiritual team is being very proactive in sending you ideas, epiphanies, signs, so much so that I would say even keeping a notebook, and writing them down, as they come to you, and then revisiting them, because sometimes it doesn't make sense. But then you revisit these ideas, you like see them on paper and you're like, okay, I get it. Okay, I feel like that's how your spiritual team is definitely going to help you. So I see a lot of success. First I feel like that reflection, but that makes sense because again, we're in the year of the Hermit. This is the final year of a 9-year cycle. So that could be why that reflection back. I kind of feel you happy, but I feel you lacking something. And let's just say, definitely by year's end, if not before that, I feel you fulfilled. And I feel you completely fulfilled. So I feel like this is going to be a great second half of 2025 for you. All right, I'm going to let that be. And I am going to go to, I hope I say your name right, Tisha. I believe it's Teesha. And your question is marriage in the cards for you. But you also want to know if a good job is around the bend, let's say. First of all, there is something new that's going to be starting. I do feel like it's you reflecting. Okay, let me put it a different way. So, it's like I see you in this spot in your house. Could be your front porch, could be your back porch, could be like what feels like a special place. Or, where you go, where you just let your mind roam. So I feel you're there. And while you're there, I feel like you are thinking about your future. And you're thinking about new beginnings. Is marriage in the cards for you? Well, again, I do feel these new beginnings. And I do feel like one of these new beginnings is going to be a person. But here's the thing also. I feel like our spirit guides are right on top of your questions today, because I feel that you will also be inspired on action steps to take. Remember that our spiritual teams, they're always sending us signs, but often there's human action that's needed behind that. So I feel like your heart chakra is going to be activated. When it's coming close to you meeting someone, I do feel like it's almost like you're going to feel passion is in the air. I don't know why. I just feel that. I do feel like you ultimately will. Here's the thing, because I feel like your spiritual team is saying, the ball will be in her court. So it's she'll either move forward or she won't. I do feel like a sense of independence is and was very important to you. That sense of being able to stand on one's own 2 feet. I kind of feel like you already can. And I feel like that was important. This may be why you've been waiting for love. Because, and I get this all the time in my readings, where I see this, our spiritual team, it's the advice that if you have a strong foundation, then it's very hard for anything to come in and knock you off that foundation. But it's your foundation first and foremost. I feel like, believe that love will find you. I definitely feel like there's something with your intuition also, like guidance of your intuition. Very important to follow it. You know what it reminds me of? I say this a lot in my readings, where, let's say you're going to work and, you take the same road to work. It's the same route every single day. You stop at Dunkin' Donuts, get a cup of coffee, but something tells you on that day, you know what? I think I'm going to go across the highway and go over to Starbucks. And that's not your normal place. And then you go into Starbucks and you're in line, and so is someone else. So is someone else. That's what I'm talking about when your spiritual team is guiding you. Now, you could have said, no, I'm not going to take that left. I'm not going to cross that highway. I'm just going to go to Dunkin' Donuts. This is why I'm saying, trust those initial instincts that you get. I also feel the more that you can let go of yesterday, and be in the type of energy where you're welcoming love and you're ready for it. And I kind of feel like you are ready for it. So, I'm trying to get an idea. Okay, another message I got for you is also, be your own self. Allow yourself to take some chances, because this may require a chance. Try to be as carefree as you can. Doesn't mean like if you have responsibilities, like don't take care of them. But what I mean, like in your free time, like listening to music, but upbeat music, going out with friends, like having fun. Because I feel like the more you're in this playful state, it's just like sending a sign to the universe. So, first of all, I want to say a good job. Wow, I feel like yes. Oh boy, we're getting thunderstorms with the possibility of tornadoes. So I don't know how long I can be on here, but it's just started. I heard the thunder. So, anyways, I feel like yeah, there seems to be an underlying message with most of the answers to today, and that's about the reflection back first. But again, we're in the universal year 9. So hang in there, Tisha. I feel good things are around the corner. All right, I'm going to continue until I probably get kicked off with the electricity. We're going to move into Audrey. Audrey, will your creativity turn into a good financial, place with the support you need? So, will your creativity turn into, let's just say, your main money maker, so to speak? I know what you're asking, by the way. Right away, I feel like yes. And I want to say, the more that you put energy into your creativity, especially if it's something that brings you a sense of joy, I feel like you are going to reap those benefits. So I feel like the more that you're joyful, the more you follow, I feel like, do I follow my head? Do I follow my heart? Well, I feel like if it's passion, follow your heart. Follow your heart, because I feel like that's what's going to bring you to your ultimate success. But do not give up, because you are definitely on the right path. I want to say that I feel like by September, you're going to start reaping the benefits. You're probably reaping some, but I feel like if you really focus upon it, and if it does bring you joy, and of course, the more energy you put into it, though don't overwork yourself either, I definitely feel like you're going to reap the benefits. I don't know if you're doing any type of business that has anything to do with healing, but for some reason I'm picking that up also. And it can talk about things that you yourself have healed from, and now helping to advise others. I know that you have that capability, whether that's what you're doing or not, it doesn't really matter. Because I feel like what this is saying is, as long as you're staying true to yourself, then I would say September, like I feel September is harvest time for you. Yeah, I do. I feel very, very good about the path that you're taking, the path that you're on, and I feel like, it's just going to bring you joy. I feel like it's going to make you really just enjoy your life again. So, Audrey, you are on the right path, my dear. All right. Let me grab a drink real quick. And we are moving into Vivian, 4418. Vivian. Alright. The effects on the higher planetary energies are... Oh, okay, wait a minute. I think what you're asking is, what are the effects from the higher planetary energies that they're having on Sagittarius right now. It feels intense to you and exhausting. Well, there's a lot going on. But it's funny because first thing I would say is, did you watch your monthly reading for April? Because I have a feeling a lot of your answers are also in there. But let's see. Okay, so this is what I feel. I feel that some are being pushed, so to speak, to reach their mountaintops. And what I mean by that is, like, any obstacles or challenges, instead of like backing away from them, you're facing them, you're walking through them. That may be the intense but yet exhausting energy you're feeling, but it almost feels like a planetary test. Can she? Will she? But she will. I already know that. I feel like this energy will, I feel like it also has something to do with full moon energy, whether it be the one we just had in Virgo, which was a total lunar eclipse, and for April it will be the full moon in Libra. I feel like that'll be a lot less restrictive for you. It's interesting, Audrey, because I feel like it's the storm before the calm. Not the calm before the storm, but the storm before the calm. So I feel like you're moving through this energy just as you were meant to. I feel like the restriction or the intensity is also this final ninth year, right, of this 9-year cycle. Like when I tell you, we are meant to reflect, clean house, so that when we open up 2026, which is the year of the magician, it's going to be powerful. So I feel like the intensity you're feeling is what really the universe is asking from all of us. Like, what's got to go? What's no longer working? What's coming between me and my dreams? Picture yourself already successful. But I feel like, to answer the question, I feel like, yes, there has been some planetary actions, but I feel like it may have forced you to, like, go within. But I feel like just as it was meant to be, you will come out the other end. What's the word I want to use? Like, I feel like feeling free. Just feeling free. Free to be you in all ways. So this energy is paying off. It's just getting through that temporarily difficult energy. But understand what it's probably asking of you. That final push. Cleaning out that house. Cleaning out that closet, so to speak. However, I do feel like even spring cleaning is a symbol to the universe that we are open for new. So I feel like, and I also feel, Audrey, that something is, I'm saying Audrey, I mean Vivian, that something is also going to open up for you. It feels like an opportunity that you can certainly say no to, but it is going to show. And I feel like it could be money. It could be something that it feels like it has to do with, okay, well, it's just meant to make your life better, easier. And it will do that. You, just like everyone else, will make that final decision of saying yes to what I feel is coming in, or no. but I feel like you're going to say yes. And I feel like you're in much calmer energy at that point. So it looks good. I feel like, again, temporarily, you're going through this energy, but you're going to start feeling better and better and better and better and better. Okay, I'm going to let that one be. I just got to keep an eye to the sky. All right, Michelle. And then I put ZH. Z as in zebra. H. Not sure why, but I did. How does your walk... Okay. How does your walk away from the shadows your parents have imposed all your life? So, okay. How do you walk away from the shadows that your parents have imposed all your life? Wow. First thing I feel like is... Okay, so Michelle, this is what I'm feeling. I feel like... I almost feel like your parents didn't know better. You know what I mean? Like the shadows well, I shouldn't say didn't know better. But it feels like influenced. Maybe influenced from the way they grew up. But how do you overcome this? Well, I do feel like you have to try to see it through their perspective. First and foremost, you don't have to, but this was what would give you the most clarity. What was I gonna say? I mean, when I say look back, it's not looking back. Why am I using kid gloves here? Because I feel like you were hurt. I feel like you were hurt pretty deeply. I feel like your childhood is something that you definitely feel was lacking. I feel like you weren't able to be that kid within yourself. But what I want to say is it's not too late. You know that inner child. And I do feel like, yes, you have to find a way to heal that inner child. And I feel like I'm either going to do it through reflection, trying to understand it from their perspective. And I know that is not an easy task, but it can bring you some clarity. And listen, let's say it's like, I don't even want to look back. Okay, you don't have to, but oh my gosh, thunder. You don't have to, but what I want to say is, remember your inner child. It still exists. Allow that inner child to come out and be free. I don't know if they had told you negative things about yourself that you carried around, but let me tell you, your spiritual team is saying you are perfect just the way you are. You were made just the way that God wanted you, in the image that God wanted you to be made in. So, yes, unfortunately, you had heavy energy that you had to deal with as a child, but I feel like what you have to do is find a way to become grounded. And I also feel, do that final reflection if you choose, but know that your team is saying there's nothing wrong with you. So don't think that. like you were made in God's image. You are an individual like no other, and there is a lot of specialties that you carry, and it's about trusting in yourself. Like, really trust yourself. And I'm sorry that you had to go through that. You know, it's interesting because I have family members, not my family, but Sam's family members who are going through similar experiences. And, you know, I remember saying to Sam, like, you know, we don't get the opportunity to pick our parents. But that's really not the truth. Because I feel, and this is what my spirit guides have put within me, is we do pick our parents before we come into this earth time, or before we come into this lifetime. We pick our parents. And we know there's going to be certain challenges, but our soul wants that challenge. And I know sometimes that's hard to hear, but that means that's how strong you are. You know, remember, you are a spiritual being going through these human experiences. Remember that. Remember who you are. Remember how your spiritual team, when they look at you, it's just pure love. Give it back to yourself. And anything that's been said to you, you have to just look at the source. You know what I mean? Like even those who are supposed to love us, you know, unconditionally, can say things, do things that make us feel the opposite. I have a similar experience there. But I feel like that's your answer, Michelle. It's just really believing in yourself, and don't push back that inner child of yours. Like, allow it to come out, allow it to heal, even allow it to forgive if you can. Again, doesn't mean that you have to like literally tell someone, I forgive you. It just means you're not going to carry it in your heart any longer. Think forward. Don't think back. Think forward. All right. I'm going to let that one be. And I'm going to do one or two more. And of course, we will pick this back up. But I'm just so afraid I'm going to lose my electricity in the middle of this. So, Beth C. Will you have land and a home this year for your rescue center and possible sanctuary? I certainly hope so. Okay. So, will you have the land and home this year? You know, right off the bat, it's like your spiritual team is coming in clear. Okay, so I feel like the opportunity is going to show itself. I feel like, let's just say around late summer, I feel like you might find the perfect place. I feel like there could just be one little issue, but I feel like it's of oneself. You know, maybe it's like, am I ready and willing to take that leap of faith? Because it may just show, like this property may just come out of the blue. But I want you to know that your team, they're guiding you towards this. And that's what I felt. As soon as I read your question, I felt the answer is yes. But I wanted to go a little deeper. So I feel like, you know, it's interesting, but I see a vision of you rescuing, like, I don't know why, but I'm seeing cages, but not good cages, you know, like the type of cage where, let's just say it's a dog, it's not being fed, not being given fresh water, out in the elements. And I have this vision of you going there and you saving this dog. Like, I see it in my mind's eye. So I feel like the answer is yes. You will find it. But not only do I feel like you'll find it, you know, I have a feeling this is one of your soul's seeds of intention. Like, this is something that brings you ultimate joy. And when I say joy, it's to help. Like, I feel that within you, and so does your spiritual team. And I feel like this is soul's quest. Not just a human quest, a soul's quest. So, you'll be divinely guided. You know, it's going to happen in the right time. So what I would say is, are you ready? But I do feel like, I'm feeling like summertime. You know, because I'm in the Northeast here, and I'm feeling like the weather is warm. But here's the thing. I feel like the perfect property is just it's gonna become a listing. Your guides are gonna point it out to you. You're gonna go view it. You're gonna feel it. And that will be your new place. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Okay. We're gonna do co-creative. Will your Virgo male... Okay, so will your Virgo male soulmate return soon? You know, I am a Virgo. And, you know, we're not the easiest to love. We're not the easiest in love. You know, that doesn't give us... you know, I'm not trying to make excuses. I just know that energy. So, will your Virgo male... you feel it's a soulmate? They're gonna return soon. Alright. Oh, okay, that was loud thunder. This is probably gonna be the last one I do. Alright, so, you know, I'm getting a mixed bag here. I definitely feel like you're missing him. I don't feel that the relationship before it ended, I don't feel it was equal. Like, I don't feel you received what you deserve to receive in a loving relationship. And, you know, so I think what I'm saying is there does seem to be issues. Let's just put it that way. I don't feel like it's you, though. Like, I don't feel like it's you. I feel like there's just some issues. I get this feeling that you may not love this, but I get this feeling... Okay, let me put it this way, because I feel like this is twofold. I feel like either your Virgo will reflect themselves, because I feel like there's a need for inner reflection within them. Not so much, well, both of you, but I feel like it's about this Virgo, and this Virgo in particular. Okay, I feel like this Virgo has the potential of really being a great man. But I feel like it's taken a long time, or it is taking a long time for him to grow. Let's just say, well, maturity-wise, but even spiritual. And I feel like that you are meant to meet. But here's the thing. I feel like there's so much uncertainty wrapped around him. And I feel that you're focusing on him so much that I don't know that if you're open to the potential of someone else. Because this is what your guides are saying. It's like, we don't want her to be, not that they would stop you, but it's like, we want Virgo to evolve. Or we want you to start looking forward. Like, start thinking forward, forward thinking. What else lies out there? I know right now he has your heart. And I'm not going to say no. But do I feel like it will be time? Yes. And that's if he even decides to do this reflection that I feel your spiritual team is saying he needs to do. Because otherwise, if he doesn't, it will just be the same thing and you'll just get your heart broken again. So it's a little bit of twofold, because his decision of whether to allow oneself to grow, understanding like what's some of the things that I've done that I hurt people and that type of thing. If he decides that, you know what, I want to be a better man, then I feel like there's a very, oh, that was loud thunder. I hope you guys can hear it. I love reading during thunderstorms, but this one's nasty. So anyways, I feel like, I definitely feel like there's some time, and, he has the capability, but will it happen? So I feel like for you, first and foremost, I want to say, don't allow yourself to lower your vibration, because I feel like I know you. And I know you've been working on yourself. And I say working on oneself, I just mean you're evolving through truth and honesty. But we also have to know our own truth. Because I feel like if Virgo came back right now, there'd be fighting. There'd be ego. It wouldn't work. It would just be hell for you. Even though it may be what I want, maybe I'm not sure that that's what I really want. So, this is it's not a difficult one to answer, but we can't come between Virgo's free will. Your spiritual team can't come between Virgo's free will. But I feel like it's more of like I feel immature. It doesn't mean like I don't have money, I don't have a good job, but emotionally. So, I feel like the best thing I could say to you is put this on a shelf and don't allow yourself to only look back. And I say that because you just never know who you might meet. And who you might meet may turn out to be your ultimate person. Now, I do think you and Virgo are soulmates, but I don't feel like all soulmates are meant to be together for life. Sometimes a soulmate comes in just to crack our heart chakra, getting us ready for the next. We don't know that as human beings, right? Our spiritual being does. So that's what I feel. I feel like you're giving, I feel like your spiritual team, it's like they're showing me tears, tears. And I get it. I understand it. I've been there. And that's why I feel like your spiritual team is asking you to please consider also looking forward, because you just never know. And listen, that's my life. You know, the way I came into the relationship I'm in now, you know that, completely unexpected. So, look forward. Doesn't mean that you can't still wish, right? But will he evolve? Will he not? That is the question that it's being put on his shoulders. And I feel like that's the only way I can answer that. But I really feel like your spiritual team is saying, please don't stop looking forward. Don't give up the possibility that anything is possible. But also, and when I say that, I have a feeling your mind went right back to Virgo. But what I'm talking about is the future and the potentials that still lie out there that you just don't know about yet. I feel like you do need to think about where your energy's at, because I feel like I'm in this sad state. I feel like don't allow Virgo to take up any more of your thoughts, and instead kind of give it away. Give it away. You know what I mean? Like, give it to Divine. Let Divine handle it. And just know, if it's meant to be, it will be. If he evolves, then let him come in and prove that to you. Because proof is what you would need. Okay. But, you know, I feel like the really important message here for you, though, is don't give up on your future. Think about, again, all is possible. And we don't know it until it actually happens. So, I do feel like there is someone else on your path. But, as always, ball will be put in your court. But I feel like the energy alone will give you a good clue. You know what I mean? Like, you'll probably feel something different, because I feel this is being guided to you. You know, that tells me that maybe your soul wanted to have that relationship with Virgo. Maybe you're learning from that. But I feel like your soul also wants to have a relationship with what feels like potential, you know, I want to say lover, let's just say partner. So, that's the best way I can answer that. Alright, I think I'm going to let this be, and I will do some more this week to try to get these questions answered for you. I thank you for your patience, truly. I thank you for listening to these podcasts. Just another avenue, you know, for me to express my creativity and to connect directly with my guides. Yeah, so we'll let that be, and we will pick it up, let's say tomorrow or the next day, and continue answering questions. I still have about at least 100 questions I have to answer. So I love you guys. I thank you. I thank you for your trust, as does your spiritual team. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.